9 maths topic test linear relationships solutions. The gradient of the line perpendicular to y equals 6x plus 123 is, well, the gradient of this line is 6. The gradient of a perpendicular line is negative 1 over 6. According to the rule, m1 times m2 equals negative 1 if two gradients are perpendicular. Our answer is C, for 1 mark. The gradient of the line with the equation y equals 3x take 7, the m value, which is the gradient, y equals mx plus c, is 3, for 1 mark. Which of the following points lies on the line y equals 3 take 4x? Now, you could sub each of these values in. So here, your x value is 1. So if you sub in 1 to this equation, 3 take 4 is negative 1. So that one doesn't work. If you subbed in x equals 2 to that equation, y equals 3 take 4 times 2, 3 take 8 is negative 5. So that point lies on the line. There's 1 mark. Here's a table of values for the linear relationship y equals 5x take 6. What value would you have here? When x equals 1, y equals 5 times 1, subtract 6. 5 times 1 is 5, take 6 is minus 1. The answer is A. Two straight lines are shown on the following graph. We have a graph here, which is a y equals, and this one is an x equals. They're vertical and horizontal lines. So this line here looks like it's down at negative 2. This line here looks like it's at 3 across. So here, this line here, we went 1, 2, 3. It's x equals 3. And this line went down 1, 2 to y equals negative 2. In that case, our answer is y equals negative 2 and x equals 3. 1 mark. Write the equation with a gradient of 2 and a y-intercept of negative 1. Therefore, if we have an equation y equals mx plus c, our equation is 2x take 1. We'll give that 1 for the gradient and 1 for the y-intercept. Consider the graph below with the two coordinates negative 3, 5 and 2, negative 1. Calculate the distance. The distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Up here, this is my x values and these are my y values. So my x values are 2 subtract negative 3 squared, and then we have negative 1 and 5. So negative 1 take 5 squared equals the square root of, this one's going to be 2 take 3, which is 5. 5 squared is 25. This one here is negative 6 squared, which is 36. So what you have now is the square root of 61. So what I would do is mark, subbing, answer. There's your 3 marks. The next question, you have gradient, which equals rise over run. Your rise is y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. And again, our y values are negative 1 and 5. So negative 1 take 5. And our x values are 2 take 3. 2 subtract negative 3. On your top, you have negative 6, your numerator. 2 take 3 is 5. You could leave it as negative 6 on 5, or you could write it as a decimal. For simplicity, there's your formula, there's your subbing in, there's your answer. There's your 3 marks. Use the equation negative 2x plus 4 to complete the table of values. So here, my x value is 0. That means we're going to sub in negative 2 times 0 plus 4. We subbed in 0 for x. Our answer is 4. So when I sub in 0, the answer is 4. X equals 2, which is here, I'm going to sub in 2. Negative 2 times 2 plus 4, which is negative 4 plus 4, which is 0. Interestingly, when we are 2 across, the y value is 0, which is actually the x-intercept. So we'll subwrite those values in here. Now we've got to plot these points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first one, -1, 6, 0, 4, 1, 2, and 2, 0. Plot the linear relationship on the Cartesian plane. So here, sub in answer, there's your 4 marks, and 2 marks for plotting the points and labeling your axes. Similarly, you could actually now draw a straight line between these. And it's just a little bit tricky with this pen. And that would be me actually creating a linear line, a line between the points, which is a linear pattern. Use the gradient and y-intercept method to graph y equals 3x take 5. So what you've got to interpret is the gradient is 3, and the y-int is -5, or 0, -5. So up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down at -5, we put our starting point. And the gradient of 3 means for every 1 across I go 1, 2, 3 up. Let's put a dot. 1 across, 1, 2, 3 up. And really, you only need 2 points. So in the first instance, I could have just plotted the y-intercept and 1 more point. Now, I plotted that linear equation using the gradient intercept method. Really on the graph, I want to see the y-intercept and you show me some proof of the gradient. And that's just showing me 1 across and 3 up. There's 2 marks. Calculate the x and y-intercepts of the equation for y equals 2x plus y equals 6. So y-int, let x equal 0. So let's put a 0 where x is. 2 times 0 plus y equals 6, which means you have y equals 6 because 2 times 0 is 0. So your y-intercept is 0, 6. Now your x-intercept, let y equals 0. So 2x plus 0 equals 6, which is 2x equals 6. Divide both sides by 2. Your answer is 3. So when I'm 3 across, I'm 0 up. Now here, 1, 2, 3 across, and we'll go 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. And now I have my x and y-intercept. Between those 2 points, I should be able to plot my linear equation using the x and y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and graphing is 5. Determine the equation for the table of values shown below. Show your working. Here, I can spot that as a y-intercept. So my y-intercept is -3. Therefore, my c value is -3. Every 1 across I go, I'm going up 1s. My y values are moving up 4. Therefore, my gradient is 4. So y equals mx plus c, which means my answer is, my pattern is moving 1 across and 4 up, so my gradient is 4x, or 4, and my c value, which is my y-intercept, is -3. Midpoint of the line CD is 3, 4. If the coordinates of point D are -2, 1, determine the coordinates of point C. So you have a point C and you have a point D. You've got to find this midpoint. So the midpoint is 3, 4. And you want to find that point D is -2, 1. What was point C? So midpoint for your x values is x1 plus x2 over 2 equals your midpoint. And the midpoint here is 3. So I'm going to colour it in yellow to represent the x values. Midpoint there is 3. I've been told that one of the values is -2. Now I can rearrange this to get x1. So divide times both sides by 2. The opposite of -2 is +2. My x1 is 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. That's that mystery value right here. Our y values, you have to do it all again. So y1 plus y2 over 2 equals, my y value, my midpoint is 4. Now what I've been told is that the y2 value is 1. So do that again. We've got to rearrange and solve for y1. So to multiply both sides by 2. Opposite of +1 is -1. So 8 take 1 is 7. This mystery value here is 7. So C, the point C, is actually 8 across, 7 up. If you want to check it, the other point D is -2, 1. Now let's look at this. Add 8 and -2 together. That's 6. What's half of 6? 3. Add 7 and 1 together. That's 8. What's half of 8? 4. That is the midpoint. This is a check. Riley works for a Pizza Hut and each shift gets initial payment of $15 plus $3 for every pizza he delivers. So $15 for turning up. So if he doesn't sell any pizzas, he's going to get $15. Then for every pizza he sells or delivers, it's $3. This goes up by a pattern of 3, increasing by 3. So let's rise each of these by 3. Now, you've got a pattern here, y equals mx plus c. Now, the amount of money he makes is m. The number of pizzas he sells is p. So it's going to be something. He sells $3 per pizza plus an initial fee, or initial payment he gets for turning up with $15. So you can interpret this. The gradient, everyone he sells is $3. That's the gradient. Plain y-intercept is just what he gets for turning up. So his equation for money is $3 for each pizza plus a $15 initial fee. Graph a table of values. Here, I would get you then to plot all these. So the first bit, this question here, for determining the equation. So for filling in the pattern would be 2 marks. For making the equation would be 2 marks. And to plot this would be 2 marks. I'll finish off with this last question. Use the rule to determine the amount of money made if Riley sells 8 pizzas in a shift. So that's x equals 8. Now his money is 3 times a pizza plus 15. So pizzas equals 8. So we'll sub that in here. How much money does he make? 3 times 8 plus 15. 3 8s are 24 plus 15 is 39. If he sells 8 pizzas, he'll make $39. Now, after plotting this, you'll have a linear pattern. You can check your answer to see if when you're 8 across, your graph is 39 in the y-axis. And that would be your final 2 marks.